Today we're going to be looking at Learning Unit 2, Theme 2, Getting to Know Learner Preference. Now, we all know that everyone has a certain preference. You know from doing your own studies that there are certain things that you prefer doing. Perhaps you like to watch these videos and take notes on them. Perhaps you like to look at the slides and then make your own flashcards or your own worksheets. Perhaps you like to read the slides. Perhaps you like to just listen to what's going on. Now, all of those are because you have a preferred learning style. But what I want to really point out is that a learning style and preference are not static. Okay, so although a learner may prefer one style, they may not always prefer it. There may be times when they would actually like another style better. So a kinesthetic learner, for example, will sometimes want to see a visual rather than trying to do it on their own. So you have to really consider what you you have to really consider what it is that you are trying to teach and what is the best way to teach it. So once again, this is a case of you're never going to accommodate every learner's learning style and learning preference. So why do we even bother with it? Well, the reason we bother with it is that, like diversity, the more we understand about different learning styles and preferences, the more we can accommodate our lessons to accommodate as many students as possible. Once again, we don't want to use every different learning style in one lesson. That's never going to work. It's going to be a disaster. But if, for example, you are doing a reading lesson, it might be a good idea to see if you could bring in a visual so that the learners have a second style of learning. So when we talk about learner preference, there are four major preferences. You've got your visual preference, your auditory preference, reading and writing preference, kinesthetic preference. So the kinesthetic learners are the learners that like to do it. You know, they can only listen to so much, they can only read so much, and then they actually need to do it in order to understand it. You know, the people who glance at the manual and then actually have to start fiddling and then keep glancing back at the manual. Your reading preferences, these are the students who want to read it all. They read through the manual first. So these are the students who like textbooks, they like written notes, they'll list facts. Then you have your auditory preferences, and these are the learners that listen to you in class. They don't take notes, they don't do anything, they just listen to you. So sometimes you may see a learner who's not really taking very many notes, but they're listening intently. They are probably an audio learner. And then, of course, you have your visual learners who like to see things. It makes it more real to them. So they are the ones who want the PowerPoints, who want the pictures put up on the board. Those are the ones who need to, they will have the manual and they'll look at the pictures before worrying about the words. They'll look at the pictures and do it. Okay, so once again, why do we bother with this? Because we can try and bring in more than one learning style into our lesson through multimodality, and therefore we can accommodate one type of diversity.